The previous program, we saw how to retrieve data from the web page. The data that we retrieved from the web page, that is data.pr4e.org. From here, we retrieve the data from that file that is called as romeo.txt. If we just look into this file, you can see what are the same data has been retrieved there. In this program, we'll try to retrieve what? An image from this same web page. We try to retrieve an image by the name that is called as cover3.jpg. So we'll try to retrieve this image. Since the size of the image will be a larger one, it will be in GBs or it will be in MB. We'll try to retrieve the image by chunks, that is in terms of 5120 bytes. And after retrieving the image, what we'll try to do is we'll trim off all the other details that will be provided along with the image, and finally try to store this image on the hard disk by giving a different name. So that is what we'll try to do in this program. We extract the image in the chunks of 5120 bytes at a time, store the data in the string, trim off the headers, and then store the image file on the disk. Let's take up the program. So first import what? The socket module. After importing the module socket, the next thing we are supposed to do is we need to create a socket. I'll create a socket by the name that is mysock. Mysock equals to use the module that is use the module socket dot use the method socket, provide the IP address family and the transmission control protocol stream, that is sock underscore stream. So the family is provided by once again family address socket dot af underscore inet, then comma, then once again socket dot provide the stream sock underscore stream. Fine. After this, the next thing is what we need to connect. The connection can be done by providing both the IP address and the port number. The port number by default is 80. The IP address is what? That is data.pr4e.org. So instead of specifying the name of the web page, we'll take the name of the web page and we'll try to retrieve the IP address of the web page. The IP address of the web page or the host IP can be retrieved by using a method that is called as getHostByName method. So host underscore IP equals to socket dot get host by name. So what is the name of the web page? It is data.pr4e.org. So this is the name of the web page. So I want to retrieve the IP address of this page. The IP address, so print host underscore IP. Try to run this and check whether we are able to retrieve the IP address. Can you see? So this is the IP address of what? Data.pr4e.org. So after this, we need to establish the connection. The connection can be established by using the socket, that is mysock, followed by dot using the method that is connect. In the connect method, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to provide both the host as well as what? That is the port number. Host is nothing but the IP address. Either you can provide this number directly, or you can also give what? The data.pr4e.org. So just provide what is the data.pr4e.org is the host or the IP address, followed by what is the port number? The port number by default is 80. Fine. After doing this, what we not next, we need to send the HTTP request by using the method. What is the method? That is send method, that is available in where? That is in the module socket. So we need to send what? The HTTP request by using, okay, once again my socket is my underscore sock, followed by send all. Instead of using send, I'm using a method send all because I need to retrieve the complete image along with all other tiny bit information that is available in the header of the HTTP response. So in the previous example, we saw how to use encode method. Here, instead of using the encode, okay, initially since the data has to be encoded and um, in terms of bytes, so what you will do, you can just once again prefix with the letter that is B, then followed by we need to send the HTTP request by using the get method, then followed by provide the address. Okay, so followed by data dot pr dot org. Then in this I need to retrieve which image, cover, which is cover3 dot jpg. So this is the name of the image. Then provide HTTP request slash, that is 1, then followed by we need to provide what, the carriage line feed. So it is given by slash r, then once again followed by slash r slash n. So we need to provide how many number of times, that is 2 times, which tells that is the n. So this is the protocol specification that we need to provide along with the HTTP request. Then after that, what we'll do is, since we are retrieving the image in terms of chunks, fine, so we should go on storing that image chunk by chunk. So we'll take one more variable by the name that is called as count and initialize the value with what, that is 0, fine. And I will consider one more variable by the name that is picture. So whatever the picture we are going to receive and store, it will be in terms of what, bytes. So what bytes, once again, that is 5120 bytes, fine. So this is the HTTP request that is made. Now we need to receive the data and we need to try to store it. So while true, okay, so I'll use a variable data to receive it. So data from mysock dot, use the method that is receive method, recv. So we are receiving the image in chunks of how many bytes, that is 5120 bytes. You can give whatever the name you want, so whatever the number you want. So it retrieves 5120 bytes at a time. Now check the condition. If the length of the data is less than 1, then just break it. So if, okay, if the length of data is less than 1, what we'll do, we will break, we'll make an exit. Else, okay, we'll take count equals to count plus length of data. Why we are using is, so first what we'll be doing here is, we'll be receiving data from 0 to 5124 bytes, that is 1 to 5120 bytes. Next we are going to receive the data from 5120 to plus 5120 bytes. So each time that count is maintained where, now in the variable that is count. So each time what we'll be doing is, we'll try to print both the length of the data as well as the count. So length of data, from which byte the data is getting transferred, then followed by count. So this count, it gives what, or it displays the cumulative data retrieved. So this count, this gives what, the cumulative data retrieved, and this length of data, it gives from which byte of the image we are retrieving the data. Then finally we are adding picture equals to picture plus data. It is nothing but, once again, whatever the data we are storing in this variable, it is in terms of what, it is in terms of bytes, the complete data. Then close the socket. So my sock dot close it. So here, since I want to see, okay, how the data is retrieved in terms of chunks from 1 to 5120 bytes, then next from 5120 bytes. So each time when I'm printing that value, I want to specify some time so that I'm able to view that value. So time dot sleep is the one I'm going to use, 0.25. So what it is doing here is the programmer can see the data retrieval easily. So I'm giving some time after the retrieval of each chunk of bytes of the image. So once again, since I'm using the time there, so I need to import the module. Import the module. The name of the module is time. Okay, so let's see and just whether we are able to retrieve the data in terms of retrieve the image data or extract the image in terms of bytes. Can you see here? It's showing the retrieval of the data. Each time the cumulative bytes value is shown here. So it's showing there the size of the image is very a larger one. So finally we are able to retrieve. So this is the extra information that we need to trim off. Fine. So right now what we are doing is we are just trying to extract the image, but I'm not storing that image in the hard disk yet. Fine. And once again I'm retrieving the image in terms of what? In terms of chunks of 5120 bytes. So whenever I want to store this image on the hard disk now, fine. So before storing that image on the hard disk, I need to retrieve only the image bytes up to here. This is an extra information that is available in the header. So I need to once again trim off this data and retrieve only what? Only the image. So let's do that now. So I'll consider one variable by the name that is position equals to, fine. I'll consider picture dot. I'll using the method that is find method, where it is going to find the bytes, that is find the end of the header. The end of the header, it is always with respect to, okay, the carriage line feed that we are going to give, that is /r/n/r/n. Fine. So we are going to identify what? This is the end of the header that has to be removed. Then finally just print, okay, header length. If you want to just check, header length will be considered once again with along with this POS, that is position value. Then print, I need to print what? The picture, okay, from where to where? From starting till this position, because I'm identifying here what? The end of the header. So print header length. Okay, so what is this position value I'm considering? So up to this position, but I'm not going to print the value that is present at which position, that is your this variable position. Then once again, each time it is encoded, I need to decode because it is in terms of bytes. You can see how it was displayed in terms of bytes. Then finally picture equals to, just give picture, then position plus 4. Okay, then file, because I need to store in terms of file, so I'm just taking a variable if file handling. Okay, if I'll take it as file equals to open a file. I'm saving that image in a new name. The name of the image I'll give it is something like stuff.jpg. Once again, I'm storing it is nothing but I need to open that in write mode, that is WB. Then finally, okay, then file dot write is a method. What I need to do, I need to write the picture. Then finally close the file. So CLOSE is the operation. Okay, so let's run this and check whether we are able to find this image by the name stuff.jpg in the hard disk. Can you see once again the same data? Okay, the header length is what? It is 394. Once again, since I'm retrieving the image, fine, and storing on the disk, okay, the HTTP response action code is 200. It is correct. Then once again, other details that are encoded in the header is printed here. And finally, the content is type is what? It is image.jpg. Now let's go here and check whether we are able to retrieve the image and store that in a new file. The name is stuff.jpg. Can you see here the name stuff.jpg? Just click on to this. Can you see? So this is the image that we have retrieved. The size of the image is very big. So this is the image that is retrieved and stored by the name that is stuff.jpg. So this is how we are retrieving the image from the web by using our in chunks of some bytes. Thank you.